Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Benefits Cool Down, Ted Lasso edition. That's Sam. I'm Ted, aka Ed and Eric. Sam, I want to talk about positivity today. I want to piggyback on last week's episode, and it's a perfect quote that I, of course, created. Ted Lasso here. You ready? Being positive isn't pretending everything is good. It's seeing the good in everything. What say you?
Well, that definitely is a great segue from last week's episode and how we ended it, talking about positive mindset, can-do attitude. And this quote to me also makes me think of something else, whereas, perception is also reality too, right? I'm a big believer in you get to choose what lens you view life through. And I'll just use, 2020 as an example of that. Once March, 2020 hit, everyone, it was a pretty negative year for a while, right? And it was hard not to be, negative. And those first couple months, I felt like we were all challenged as individuals, depending on, where we were in dealing with the pandemic and the various aspects of it. But we were also challenged to, view that situation and find any particular silver linings that we could, right? What areas of opportunity do we have? During that time, I read a Towers Watson survey where there was, talked about, people that stand in line outside for the brand new iPhone versus those who kind of wait, right? You're talking about early adopters or detractors, and of course, people who could be swayed either way, right? And just like when you have a situation like that, you're going to have some employees or benefit partners or whomever that are going to immediately see, okay, what can we do to help people at this point? How can we turn this negative situation into a positive thing? And then, of course, you're going to have people who, the sky is falling and we need to figure out exactly how to put food on the table tomorrow, right? And so, and then you got the people that are kind of in the middle. And I think that we were challenged as a community to find any silver lining in there that we could. What areas of opportunities do we have as benefit brokers? What was the impact that we could bring to people, right? In that time, it was trying to bring as much information, clear information too, right? Because you're watching a ton of news outlets and things of that nature. A lot of little things could be missed, especially when the Consolidated Appropriations Act was passed. It was very, very hard to kind of understand what aspects affected every employer. So we tried to give those into bite-sized pieces. We also said, hey, all these employers that don't have any technology, maybe now's the time to embrace it, right? Let's look at some ways to help enhance the experience for your employees across the board. Again, we just wanted to try to find any silver linings in there that we could. Again, not pretending, we're not going to pretend the pandemic was a good thing. A lot of people were hurt, and no matter how you feel about it, people, feel differently about it. And I think that also is one thing, but ultimately we get to choose what lens we view life through. And I think that we were also challenged to just continue to find areas of opportunity so that we're not only helping the early adopters, but also people who are teetering and need that additional mindset shift. Does that make sense to you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, look, mine's pretty easy. I've always been a pretty positive person. In fact, early on, dating my girlfriend at the time, now wife, of course, Megan, she would, like any human being, she'd have a good day, a bad day. But if she ever had a bad day or a moment in her life, still to this very day, where she was just not feeling it, something wasn't going right, she literally will text me then and now. I guess we didn't have text back then because I'm old, but now she'll text me and she'll say, "Give me some spin. I need some positive spin." So for those in the marketing world, spin would be like marketing sizzle. Like, how do you turn it into a positive? How do you spin it, right? So I'm a marketing guy by trade. I love figuring stuff out like that. So when she has a bad day, she'll tell me about whatever it is. And whether she asks for it or not, I will immediately spin it marketing wise into how it's a positive. And she loves it. It'll make her smile and she'll say, geez, I needed that. You're right. This was that, or that was this. I didn't think about it that way. That's good. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm always trying to put positive spin on whatever anybody's going through, or even frankly, what I'm going through. Always look on the bright side would be the other way that people are familiar with that with that terminology. So appreciate it. As always, good stuff. Being positive isn't pretending everything is good. It's seeing the good in everything. That's Sam. I'm Ted, Ed, Eric. Stay tuned next week for another episode of the Benefits Cooldown Ted Lasso Edition. And if you listen today, please put in the comment section below the word spin. The word spin. That way we know that you listened and you're a true fan, and we appreciate you. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.